Okay, so let's continue. All right, here's a screenshot from visitor tracking. Anybody's got their own favorite visitor tracking system. It can be Google Analytics, Stack Hunter, both. It can be others. Web stats, there's a bunch. Some are very simple, some are a little more detailed. I've got a lot of clients that come and go, and we use tracking on some of our stuff, and then we help clients get tracking on their own stuff so they can watch their own. And that's cool. Just helping clients out. Okay, here's the point I want to make about this. Okay, this is a different client than we've been discussing. All right, the client got 10 new websites with 1,000 pages each, custom copywriting and directory listings and all of them. Okay, and the total project cost was $4,995. Okay, now they're averaging about $170 in daily sales. Okay, that's because they shot up about 3 times the total traffic in the first 3 months. Okay, so if you look at the traffic, okay, and there was a couple of months in the run, basically three. Well, this month was about half of it, okay, half of the total. And that's the point. Yesterday came to about 500 people. Today even beat that with 563. This project's projected to earn, we're loose guess, but probably in the neighborhood of 54,000 this year. Okay, just guesstimating based on what we know about the numbers. All right, took about 5,000 bucks to build, right? 4,995, and then they can be getting like 59,000 in sales this year means 54 grand. Okay, so the annual cost to keep that income stream up, okay, $2,600 for the domains and the hosting and to renew all the directory listings. Why do you think you need to renew directory listings? Well, because yours got old, new ones come new, and you still need Google to see that you're still around, you're still active, you're still real, you're still fresh. And that's great for the directories because they have ongoing business. But it means we all have to play ball. Once a year, you're going to want to renew all that. But renewal is good. Google sees renewal. Google likes renewal. Google sees that you're still in business, you're still active, you're still there. Okay, there you go. That's the point of that. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, this is another one. Different client. A lot of fun. This is a secret of one of the richest. If you were looking at your richest competitors, they do very well. Now, how does Google Mobile work? A lot of people do searches on their mobile phone. And when they do searches on their mobile phone, Google's going to pull up a list of relations that pop up from close to you outward, right? Okay, so what do you think? Let's say this. Let's say you happen to be standing, oh, I don't care. You're right here, and you go looking for a plumber. Okay, and let's say you did it on your mobile phone. Maybe you're driving down the road. Your wife called you or your husband and said, "Hey, the pipe just burst in the garage. You need an emergency plumber right now." The guy's like, "Oh heck, well I'm driving. Let me hopefully pull over and look for a plumber for you." And he whips out his phone, either says or types, "Emergency plumber." Okay. Then what's Google going to do? Very often it's going to show plumbers starting from close to him outward. Okay. So do you really think that there are this many plumbers in any area? No, man. I mean, in area, that's about an inch on here is like 2 miles. Okay. 2 miles. Okay. 2 miles. Do you really think there are that many plumbers? So you might think, how in the world, first of all, you think this, what's the point of there being this many apparent plumbers? And the answer is, yes, there are plumbers sited at all these different locations. Is what these dots represent, plumbers. Okay, plumber websites. Literally, every dot is a different website. Okay, every dot's a different website. Okay, and they're pinpointed by their addresses. All right, and the guy driving down the road is looking for a plumber, and if it weren't for people knowing how to do what they do, then you could erase about 3/4 of the dots on here. What if at least half? Okay, then what? Then he'd see this other dot, not you. All right, but because you have multiple locations, and there are several ways to do this legitimately. We'll discuss this when we discuss your project with you, because that's an interesting topic all unto itself. We'll do that when we get into your discussion of your project with you. We'll discuss what your options are and what makes sense for your business model. Okay. But because these guys are able to pump these dots closer to where the guy's driving down the road, then Google's going to be showing them. Now, does it matter? Hell yeah, you bet it matters. It has a lot to do with who gets the income. Remember, it's not just you make a little less, it's As you make less, they make more. As they make less, you make more. It's literally a seesaw effect. Let's say, every one of these guys, 10 of them, got the next deal. Let's say they each profited $100. Just simple, stupid numbers. Okay, and so they each make $100. Now, if somehow you got one extra sale, well, that means one of them lost it by definition. The seesaw tipped in your favor. Not only did you make 100 more, but someone made 100 less. Okay, they didn't also make 100 more like you did. You made 100 more, they made 100 less. By comparison, the money came to you instead of them. Okay, so that is a difference of $200, you versus your competitor. So what happens if you're multiple locations and you pick up, let's say 60%? For instance, 60% of these could all be for your client, all right, or for you as a client, all right? Such things are possible. This goes for affiliate systems, downlines. It goes for hard brick and mortar companies nationwide. It goes for a lot of things, right? There are appropriate ways you can do this. So I'll give you a hint on how you can do this legitimately when it comes to something like plumbers. Think about it this way. You have independently licensed plumbers who work for you. Who knows if they come and go or if they trade companies or do some moonlighting, who knows? Maybe you're even fine with that. The point is, maybe you have 11 plumbers working for you and they all live in the neighborhood. Okay, well, since they're all their own licensed plumber, why couldn't they have a website at their home address? Okay, with their own mobile phone number, except it wouldn't be their mobile phone. You're going to use a call forwarding method in order to dispatch out the sales to them. So the phone numbers on the websites are going to route through you and you're going to get the leads and send them to the guys. Okay. Now, what's the point? Since your employees live in this circle here, then if you set up a website for each of them independently, then you have dots all over the place. Okay, and then if you set something like that up for a partner over here, somebody you know or are willing to outsource to, or you handle their website marketing for them as well as the website marketing you do with your guys, what's the point? With your guys, they have the right to use the websites. They have the right to use your brand name. They have the right to use your branding on their websites. You know what? They don't even know how to handle websites. You're doing the websites for all of them, right? That would be the idea. You're doing the websites for all of them. Okay, so you're the website marketer and you're taking the calls under your brand name and you're setting the guys up. Okay, but they are running their own websites in their own locations. And the purpose, so that when people driving by or people on a geolocalization tool pick something up and they are looking for you, then they're probably going to see one of these sites in the area. See how powerful that is? You tip the seesaw directly in your favor away from your competition. That's the name of the game. Okay. Your biggest competitors do that. If you're a plumber and you live anywhere near New York and this is new territory for you, you're staring at this for the first time you never saw before, realize that your competitors are doing this. Okay. You need to do it too to at least catch back up, tilt that seesaw back your way. You can tilt it back your way hard once you understand how this game works. All right. Get a hold of us. We can help you figure this out. All right. Now, I could go on forever. If you're an MLM program, like I said, you have a downline, they're all independent contractors, they could all have a website, their own address, literally. You're a real estate agent, okay? You're a real estate or a realtor that runs a group of real estate agents in a territory, okay? And you provide all the marketing and webinars and help cross-pollinate their education and share results and share good practices, bad practices, etc. You're teaching them, they're under your wing, and they get to use your brand name as a result, part of your exclusive group. Okay, so they're exclusive realtors. Same thing applies. We can create a website for every single one of those members and literally tie them together. All those websites, see, can be sitting on a single dedicated server that you happen to own. You own everything about it. You may even own all the domain names because all those realtors are paying you to handle it for them, so they don't need to know how. All they need to do is pick up the phone when it rings. And why will it ring? Because they are appearing all over the place, specifically. And when people call, one of them, they're near them. And what do realtors do? They tend to work their territory, right? So have an address somewhere in the territory you work. There are a lot of ways to do this sensibly. There are other ways to do it. Let me just throw something far out there to make sure you can think about this clearly, because when you call, it's good to have a clue, right? So say you're a plumber and say somebody else is a hair salon, Okay, you're a plumber over here. Somebody's a hair salon over there. Okay, you'll say, hey, set up a suite 102 over at your address. I'll set up a suite 102 over at mine to pick up the mail sent to my website that's at your place, because you're going to be a reseller for my services in your area. I'm going to be a reseller for your services in mine. In other words, this is a deal that people would make with other guys who also show up on mobile phone searches a lot, right? And so you're intentionally trying to geo-target. Nothing stops you from arranging deals where you can either pay commissions to the people who bring you sales in a wider area, okay, or and they will pay you commissions for bringing them sales from your area, okay, or trade benefits. You cut my hair and I will take care of your plumbing, you know, and you just trade a benefit that way. So you can trade benefits or cash with a bunch of people surrounding you in order to have an excuse to set up a reseller website at several different locations pointing at you. And in exchange, you have several so-called suites running entirely different businesses that are unrelated out of your area. Can you do it? Can you run multiple businesses out of a single address? Yes, as long as they're not related. Okay, if you had nothing but hair salons at your address, that wouldn't make sense anymore, you know, because Google's going to start to say, wait a minute, you're trying to show up for the same keywords, right? But if you have a hair salon, suite for a hair salon, that's to have the excuse to use your address, right? So that you have the excuse to set up a separate website from theirs. Okay, again, that's just to go out of your way to get addresses and phone numbers into place so you can go out of your way to put yourself in places like Merchant Circle and Yelp and 411 and Local, etc. Right? That's to give yourself a good reason to have an address so that you can put each and every website you get, one guy at a time, each deal, each member, each downline, each affiliate, each associate, each friend, however you want to arrange it, okay, to get that big cluster working on your behalf, okay? So that's an example of doing it right, okay? There are completely legitimate ways to accomplish this sort of saturation. Get a hold of us and we'll walk through your strategy with you and how you should do it, what options are available to you. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the rubber meeting the road. A lot of industries would say this is the bottom line. For people who are looking for the bottom line, here's the bottom line. Okay, here's one client's revenue using 1,300 websites on 3 dedicated servers. Okay, sales. All right, so what we're seeing are technicians working in areas and they close, you know, they have a bunch of jobs to do. So they've closed some percentage of jobs. All right, these are the total jobs that have come in through those areas. Many got closed, some got canceled. And this is the average cost of that job to whoever was being serviced. Okay, we'll take a look. Some areas are smaller, so they have a smaller number of total jobs in the period. Okay, other areas are larger, like a month. Other areas are larger and they have a lot more jobs in the period. Okay, like LA, there are a lot of jobs there. Okay, and so if you have 228 closed jobs with an average ticket price of 189 bucks each, you're talking about 43,128 coming in revenue from here. If you subtract out expenses, say, and you get down to 20K and you assume that, and that's 20K is being very liberal, it's more like 30K is left over. And then you say, okay, profit split between them and the guy who brought them the deal, the guy who's running the marketing for them. Well, that's 15K each for the month on that location alone. What happens when you have locations across the nation? How many of you guys remember when we were talking about the notion of pre-ranking websites? Setting up websites and setting up subdomains on them and running them out nationwide and doing it with several websites, okay? So you can get several websites into play in each location, right? This is the end result of doing that, actually, because here's the point I want to make. Here's 228 closed jobs for this area with an average ticket price of 189 times 220, 43K in revenue. Subtract out, you got a lot of profit. What's the point? Did this 228 jobs come through a single website? Heck no. It came through a stack, all right, of at least 15 different websites, if not 20, all right? So this is like 20 different businesses just run by the same marketing department, all right? And so they're sharing the profits on all those sales that they're generating for that tech, that area. Okay. Now, that also in part of this is about 10% of it is coming through Google. Where do you think the rest of it's coming through? Okay. The directories. All right, let's continue on. That's going to help drive that point home.